Hi, it's Christina with the Sisyphean Journal. Today is March 19th, and we're looking at a more typical criminal abortion death, a case where a woman found a doctor, albeit a rather unorthodox one. Mary Noble was 38 years old when she died at her house in New York's 28th Precinct on March 19th of 1867. She'd been separated from her husband, Ayers Noble, for a year or two. He testified that they had split up due to her being too intimate with George Waite Carson, the seducer. Carson testified that he'd known Mary for about 3 years. He had met her when they had both been still living in Jersey City with she'd been living with her son and daughter, and her husband was away fighting in the war. Mary moved to New York after discovering she was pregnant to keep the pregnancy a secret. She took her son, W.D., with her, but it's not clear if she brought her daughter with her as well. Carson said that Mary had spoken to him prior to the move about getting rid of the effects of their criminality. Carson made arrangements with a doctor who he knew as Dr. Dubois, or Dubois, I'm not sure how you pronounce that, whether you pronounce it in French or anglicize it, to make a $10 down payment and then pay another $15 after the abortion. So Carson said that Mary reported that the first abortion attempt was done by attaching a battery to her body with leads, weird, and using some sort of instrument internally, but it had no effect. The second attempt was made with some sort of internal injection of water. Now, Carson saw Mary for the last time on February 21st when she was suffering chills. Carson went and fetched Dr. Dubois, depending on how he pronounced it, and he just looked in on her for about 5 minutes. Then on February 24th, Mary expelled the fetus, which Carson put in a jar. He kept the fetus for about a week before he boxed it up and threw it in the water closet. Mary had chest pain on the 29th. Carson again went looking for Dr. Dubois and attended to Mary. He attended to Mary several more times, but after a while refused to provide any further care. And it was at that point that Mary summoned Dr. McClelland, who was given all the facts, and in turn summoned a Dr. Wood. But their efforts were to no avail, and Mary died at 2:20 p.m. on March 19th. W.D. testified he hadn't known about the pregnancy until his mother took ill. She'd asked him not to tell any relatives that she was sick. So it's not clear then who told his father and uncle of Mary's illness. W.D. testified that he first learned about the abortion when he read about it in a newspaper. Now, Mary's estranged husband had been notified that she was sick with neuralgia, which she was already prone to. So he'd headed into the city to see her, only to arrive too late. He learned about the real cause of her death being the abortion from the coroner. Mary's brother-in-law, Leander, had received a telegram on Thursday that Mary was ill, and he went to her and she told him she wasn't going to survive and that she'd had an abortion. So the police learned about the abortion death on Sunday, arrested the guilty parties, and the coroner and the police captain went to the abortion location and found the abortion instruments in a drawer there. Dr. McClelland testified that he'd been called in to care for Mary in her final sickness. Her pulse had been racing between 130 and 140, and he testified that Mary told him, quote, that a miscarriage had been brought on by an eclectic physician and that he used instruments. The coroner's jury concluded that Mary had died from pyemia, resulting from an abortion produced by the prisoner William F.J. Thiers, Thiers, alias Dr. Dubois. They further hold Amelia Armstrong, aka Madame Dubois, as an accessory before the fact. Carson was tracked back home to New Jersey and was arrested as well. When the police went to arrest Thiers, they found his home sumptuously and comfortably fitted up. There were 4 women who admitted that they were there for abortions. And a quote from the news, an examination of the premises resulted in the discovery of an immense collection of letters in relation to malpractices, which was a code word for abortions. Thiers also kept a receipt book indicating all his patients, all of which police would hope would prove criminal intent in performing the abortion on Mary. And that's all I have for now. Come back next year. We'll see if I have more.